What up? It's your boy Felise, and welcome to this short training. In this short training, I'm going to share with you the nutrition plan that saved my life. The nutrition plan. I didn't start with this nutrition plan when I first started my journey, but up till today, I've been able to lose like 70 kilos naturally. I've built muscle, and I feel like my body is changing. My body is evolving. It's healing in a way. Being put on so much weight, like being over 200 kilos, comes with the side effects of binge eating, emotional eating, no discipline at all. So what I'm going to do with you guys right now is I'm going to share with you my experience with intermittent fasting. I'm not sharing this with you out of a mindset of that I've studied this. I've got a PhD, I've got a diploma, I did a course on this. Nah, I've simply just watched a couple of videos online. I've read a couple of blogs, I've spoken to a couple of people, and I've been able to apply this nutrition lifestyle to my life, and it's been transformative. So if you haven't already noticed, I use the word nutrition lifestyle. This is a lifestyle, guys. Not another diet, it's not another fad. It's a way of living. You don't just do this. And when I'm sharing this with you, your mindset has to be in the mindset of, which what I always teach, is a mindset of marathon over sprint. This is not a sprint. This is a lifestyle. This is a way of living. This is a marathon. You do this until it becomes a part of who you are. And I think that's the key. It's a part of who I am. Felise, this is a part of my lifestyle right now. This is my way of living. This is my relationship with food. And it's been transformative. So we're going to get straight into it. All right. So, So what I'm going to share with you guys right now is basic level. This is like a basic level of intermittent fasting. Okay. And so if you have any questions, please, if you have any questions about this, please comment below, and I'll try my best to be able to answer any questions related to intermittent fasting. And like I said, like there's a lot of information out there, there's different types. I'm going to go through it, but I'm going to go through this on a basic level, right? So just so you know, I've been doing this for intermittent fasting. I'll say I've been doing this for about say 8 to 10 months now, and it's been healing. It's helped me overcome binge eating. It's helped me overcome emotional eating. Like I still have that craving. I don't think it would ever go away in a way. It's the same thing with like people that have addiction to alcohol, addiction with gambling, or let's say pornography, right? The craving never really goes away, but it's your approach and it's the discipline that you have with that addiction or that craving. Yeah. So I still currently get that craving of emotional eating, binge eating, especially on the weekends, especially in the evenings. But I've come to learn that this building a structure, building a routine around my life has helped me truly overcome this. So I want to make sure that you guys understand, and that's very clear. Like this is lifestyle change. This is not another diet. Like you can't just think that you're going to be doing this for 1 or 2 weeks or 21 days or 30 days. It might work, but if you want to make it transformative, you got to make it a lifestyle. You got to make it a part of who you are. This is a part of Felise right now. Okay, so basic level. So, what is intermittent fasting? What is intermittent fasting? So it's very, very simple. You eat for a period of time within 24 hours. Okay, and then there's a period of time in 24 hours that you fast. Okay, so let's just say 24 hours. So let's just say, for easy numbers, so we'll divide up 24 hours by 2. So let's say you're eating for 24 hours and then you're not eating for 24 hours. That's basically what intermittent fasting is. You fast for a period of time within the 24 hours and then you eat for a period of time within 24 hours. Make sense? Very, very simple. Okay? Very, very simple. All right. So what is the benefit of intermittent fasting? What is the benefit of intermittent fasting? For someone that's been obese, for someone that's been overweight, for someone that's always struggled with coming back home. I would come back home from work and sometimes not even hungry, I'll walk in, I'll just go to the fridge and I'll start looking in the fridge. Even though I'm not even hungry, I'll go to the fridge and look in the fridge. Because it's just the way, it was habitual. I'll go to the cupboard and I'll just look in the cupboard. Sometimes I'll just eat out of boredom. I'll just eat because the food's there. And so what I've come to learn is that the benefit of intermittent fasting is that it would teach you discipline. It would teach you discipline. It would teach you control over food. Because this is the facts, guys. This is where I was. This is why it's healing and this is why it's transformative. I had no control over food. Like I was just eating for the sake of eating. I was just like eating because food was there. There was no purpose behind eating. It was like it was ruined. And maybe it happened like at a young age. Yeah? Like it was just a habit that I built since a young age. But the first thing that I want to share with you, the benefit of intermittent fasting, of telling yourself, this is when you eat, this is when you don't eat, is you will teach yourself discipline, but more importantly, you will learn to teach yourself to have control over food, mind over body, okay? Number two, you rebuild your relationship with food. Let me say this, man, like I definitely ruined my relationship with food, right? Like I just ruined it in a way where, like I said, I wouldn't really eat food for pleasure. Food was more of a relief to my emotional stress. Like when I'm feeling stressed, I'm feeling tired, like food was the solution. But then I kind of had this ugly feeling with food because when I eat all the food, then I feel ugly about it. I'm like, oh, I don't want to eat ever. I don't want, like, you guys probably experience this, right? Like, you eat the food and then you eat too much of the food and then you start to live in regret. And then you start telling yourself, you know what, I'm not going to eat like that ever again. I'm not going to eat till tomorrow. I'm not going to eat till tonight. I'm going to eat till the next day, right? And then it's like you build this kind of iffy, ugly relationship with food. Therefore, food is not seen as like pleasure. It's seen more as like it is seen as pleasure, but it's seen more as like a fight. It's like a fight. Do you know what I mean? And it's because the relationship I had with food wasn't on point. I didn't eat with purpose. I'll just eat for the sake of eat or eat for the sake of boredom. Okay? So what else is the benefit of intermittent fasting? Like I said, once I rebuild my relationship with food, I started to enjoy the foods without feeling guilty. Now that's one big thing. And I guarantee you, especially if you're on this weight loss journey, if you're trying to lose weight, and you're like me, and you've been trying to lose weight for many, many years, one thing I'll tell you this, I guarantee you this, is that you're going to learn to enjoy food more. You're going to enjoy eating food. Food is going to be pleasure. Food is life. Soul food, baby. But, when you make the decision, you say to yourself, look, this is when I don't eat, and this is when I eat, and you actually fast, and you commit to fasting, you know that you can eat the food that you love without feeling guilty, with the right portions. So it becomes an enjoyable experience. And that's how you rebuild your relationship with food. Number four, you eat with purpose rather than boredom and emotions. Okay, these are the benefits. These are some of the benefits of intermittent fasting. Okay, have you noticed I haven't talked anything about what you should be eating? I'm talking about your behavior with food. I'm talking about your relationship with food. I'm talking about you as you and food here, and building a relationship with food and eating out of purpose, so that eating out of purpose can give you pleasure, an enjoyable experience, rather than feeling guilty when you eat food. Oh, I shouldn't eat carbs. You shouldn't feel guilty eating carbs. Okay. So what else? What else are the benefits other than what I've shared with you? Now, what I've done is I've actually copied this from Google. I've typed it up in Google and I put it here. But I've definitely seen this in my life. So let me read it. What else? What else are the benefits of intermittent fasting? Besides weight loss, are there other benefits to intermittent fasting? In addition to reduced body weight, this fasting can help lower cholesterol, improve glucose control, reduce liver fat, and improve blood pressure. Patients tell me they have increase in endurance, better motor coordination, and improved sleep. Okay, so these are the other benefits of intermittent fasting. Now, I don't really have any problems with my cholesterol, glucose control, liver fat, not that I know of now, but I know that me doing the fasting is definitely helping me improve. Now, a couple of things that I would touch on that's definitely helped me out is definitely improving sleep. You know, just like making, like I fast from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Sometimes I'm fasting a lot more, but that's basically my time frame. So I won't eat until after 2, and then I'm eating before 10. Sometimes I'm eating before that, right? But you know, I try to go to sleep. If I'm sleeping about 10:30, I'm not eating an hour beforehand, and it's not really a big meal. I usually have my big meals about 5 or 6 o'clock. You know, if I'm eating after that, then it's just more of a snack. So I'm going to sleep not with a full stomach. So therefore, my body is actually resting rather than, you know, sleeping and then trying to break down the foods. Okay, so that's one thing. Second thing is definitely reduce fat. Okay, so I'll touch on it a little bit. So what I've noticed with my journey right now is my body weight has stayed the same. And, you know, because I'm doing weight training, I'm building a lot of muscle. But I've noticed, like with photos with me, even though my weight's kind of stayed the same throughout the year, but my body has shrunk. Let me say it again. Even though my body weight has stayed the same and I'm building muscle, okay, and I still do cardio, my fat or my body shape, my face, my body, my waistline, my thighs, my arms, hopefully my arms are getting bigger, but it's shrunk. So what does that mean? Building muscle, first thing, which is extremely important. I'm all about building muscle. And number 2 to that is I'm burning fat, because I'm burning in a period of time where I'm fasting. Okay, so I'll talk about that in another video, but these are the benefits of intermittent fasting. Okay, now, so how does it work? We've talked about the benefits, we've talked about how it works. We've talked about what intermittent fasting is, we've talked about the benefits. So we're going to talk about what are the strategies and how can we actually apply this to our journey. So it's very, very simple. There are a couple ways to fast. These are some of the examples. So my preference is if you're first starting, if you're first doing this, preferably start off with the 16, 18-hour window, okay? So the first basic level is you fast for 16 hours and then you eat for 8 hours. So how does that look like? You'll fast from 1 p.m. So let's just say it's 1 p.m. today. So you'll eat from 1 to 9 p.m. Tonight. And then from 9 p.m. to 1 p.m. the next day, you're going to be fasting. That's how easy it is. Very, very simple. And what I love about it, it's just black and white. There's no gray area, right? It's extremely important when you want to overcome binge eating, when you're overcoming emotional eating, that there shouldn't be any gray areas. It's just like black or white. That's it. So it's black shirt or it's white. It's very easy to differentiate. But when you have gray areas in there, that's not like then you just fall short. You know what I mean? So it's simplified, but it allows you to understand that, look, Felise, this is when you eat, this is when you don't eat. Okay. Now let's say you've done 16 to 8, but you feel like you can fast a little bit longer. So the next level from that is you fast for 20 hours and then you eat for a period of 4 hours. So what does it look like? For example, today it's 4 p.m. I'm going to eat from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. That's your eating window, right? So you eat between that window. Then from after 8 p.m., from 8 p.m. to 4 p.m. the next day, you're fasting. So what does that mean? You're not eating at all. You're not eating at all. Okay. And then the more intense fasting is that you fast for 23 hours and then you eat for 1 hour. Okay. So for example, it's 8 o'clock right now. I'm going to eat from 8 to 9. Then from 9 p.m. to 8 p.m. the next day, I'm going to be fasting. Okay, so I've actually done that before, and it's good. You know, it just depends on you, depends on your schedule, it depends on your lifestyle, it depends on what suits you. Preferably for me right now, I do the 1 p.m. to the 9. I do the 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. So I'm fasting for about 16. I'm probably fasting a lot more because I go to the gym. So uh, at about 1 o'clock, I'm at the gym. So I'm training from about 1 to 2:30. So by the time I get home, it's about 3 o'clock. You know what I mean? So I'm like fasting for like 16 to 18 hours. Okay. Now there is a deeper level. There is a more advanced level to this. Some people, they fast for 24 hours. Some people, they fast for 36 hours. They fast for 2 days, 3 days. You know, it just depends on you. But ultimately, this is basically the framework of how intermittent fasting works. Okay. Very, very simple. Like I said, if you have any questions, please comment below and I'll get back to you guys. Okay. Now, what do you eat? Now that we know the benefits, now we know how it works and the structure. So the question that you might ask yourself right now is like, so what do I eat, Felise? What do I eat now? Within that period of time that I'm not fasting, what do I eat? Now, a more basic level that I want to share with you is like what I would say to someone that's just starting this off is I would be like, look, don't worry too much about what you eat. Okay, try to build the routine around fasting and eating and not sorry. Let me use the words right. The first thing that I would share with you guys is if you're first starting intermittent fasting, is don't worry too much about what you're eating. Worry more about or pour more of your time and energy into building the routine. Once you build the routine in place, then you can go in and fix things. So what am I saying? Focus on fasting for 16 hours and then eating for 8 hours. Okay? So just like for what I would say, just eat. Just eat the foods that you're currently eating right now. Yeah? Just focus on that. Okay? Then what you can do, because what I've noticed is what people do when they're trying to lose weight is they restrict themselves. They have this to do the no-no list, like don't eat carbs, don't drink this, or don't drink soft drinks, or don't do this, or don't do this. And it's just like a whole list, right? And look, it all sounds all good and well, but we're talking about transformative. We're talking about long-term. We're talking about sustainability. We're talking about consistency. Yeah. And so what I'm a big believer on is like you build upon building upon building upon building. You build upon a foundation. Once you build a foundation, then you build upon that. You build upon that. What people are trying to do is they try to build a skyscraper straight away without building a foundation, without taking it level step by step by step. So my being in the journey and now coaching obese married men, what I'll suggest for you to do is, first of all, just try to build a routine around intermittent fasting. Focus on that. Then the second thing, once you build the routine around that, what you can also do is a very, very simple concept is use an app called MyFitnessPal, right? MyFitnessPal is extraordinary. It's like a journal to your meals. So what you do is you download the app. Once you download the app, very, very simple, you log your meals in. So for example, if you eat a sandwich, you know, you put the sandwich in there. If you eat sausage rolls, you put sausage rolls. If you eat sneakers, you put sneakers in. And basically what it's going to do is it's going to tell you how many calories are in each food. Okay. So what is the calorie? I'll do another video on that. But calorie in each food that we eat, there is a certain amount of energy, or they use the term calories, within each food. Okay. And then of course, the more calories that you eat, the more fuel, or the more weight you're putting in, the more calories you're putting into your body. And so basically what you need to do is to make sure that you burn it. Okay. So not going too much into that, but my preference, if you're doing the routine, the next level from that is use MyFitnessPal and basically just log in your meals into MyFitnessPal, and it will tell you how many calories are each and each food. Now, the great advantage of having MyFitnessPal is when you first create an account, there's a free version. Okay, there's a free version. Now, when you first create an account with MyFitnessPal, it's gonna ask you for your height, your weight, and your activity level, and it's gonna give you a number. So let's just say for me, when I first started my journey, I think when I was over 200 kilos, I was burning about 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day, just with my body and with what I was doing, and I was working out once a day. I was burning up to 4,000 to 5,000 calories. So what does that mean? That means if I'm burning, so say 5,000 calories, I can eat 4,000 calories and still be losing weight. Does that make sense? Okay. If my body, and the app will tell you, if my body is burning 5,000 calories a day, and the foods that I'm eating, and I'm logging in each food. Remember, if you're fasting for 6 to 8 hours, it's not really a long time. So once you build a routine around logging in your meals, it becomes a part of who you are. Yeah. And so ultimately, you can eat 4,000 calories and still not, you will not feel guilty. That's what I mean, guys. That's how it becomes a pleasure, it becomes an enjoyable experience eating foods, especially the foods that you love. Okay. Depending on your goal and the outcome that you want to achieve, like if you want to be an athlete, then that's more like an athlete kind of thinking. Like then you might want to look at your macronutrients, your fats, and your carbs. But look, I'm talking about someone that's binge eating in immersion. I'm talking about someone that's just starting off. Like, just first of all, build the routine. Second to that, download the MyFitnessPal app, and it'll basically it'll tell you a number. And then all you got to do is just make sure you stay under that number. Very, very simple. That's how simple it can be. Okay, so that's what you should eat, right? It will tell you how many calories. And of course, the more dense foods are, that of course, junk food, if you're eating fries, if you're eating fried fries, chips, or, junk food, then calories are a lot more higher, So you got to use your common sense at the same time. Okay, so what can you drink while you're fasting? So obviously, when you're fasting, there's no food. Like, you shouldn't be eating anything. Like lollies, like no lollies at all, right? Like, try to minimize, breath. If you want to have like mint, have 1 or 2, but don't go overboard, right? But what can you drink? So ultimately, water, black coffee, tea, without sugars or milk. And the great thing about drinking, like, water, black coffee, tea, and that, it's just there to kind of suppress your hunger. Yeah, it's just kind of get you going, to keep you moving forward. But ultimately, it's, black coffee is very good in regards to suppressing your hunger, and it definitely works. But it's an energy booster, right? But I want to make that extremely clear. Like, you don't eat within the period that you're fasting. You do not eat. Do not eat. You make it a rule. You make it a standard up here. Okay? You do not eat, and that's it, right? And you can, people ask me, like, do you have mint? Yeah, have a mint to freshen your breath, but don't go overboard, right? But ultimately, you're going to have water, black coffee, or tea. My suggestion is don't have it with milk or sugars, right? There is some philosophy around, when you have sugars and milk, it triggers your something, and then you get these cravings. I don't know, right? I'm not really diving into that. For me, it's more about routine. For me, it's more about building the routines around your life, and that's what's going to create success for you. And that's what I've been able to apply to my life. Okay. So what now, Felise? Now that you know what the benefits are, now you know how intermittent fasting works. And then you know that what you should eat. Use MyFitnessPal, create an account, and now you know that what you should be drinking between the fasting period. What I will say for you right now is do it until it becomes a part of who you are. That's it. Just pick a certain period of time that suits you. My suggestion is fast for 16 hours, eat for 8 hours, depending on your work schedule, depending on your lifestyle. Fast from, let's say 9 p.m. to 1 p.m. the next day. Just depends on you. I'll create more videos around this. So, if you have any concerns, put your questions below. And then, if I feel like there's a lot of questions that are asking the same questions, then I create a video just similar like this, okay? But also, ultimately, it's a lifestyle change and it's transformative, right? That's what I do bear witness to. Like, I'll tell you this 120%, that intermittent fasting can save my life. It's a way of living. It's a way of, it's not a diet. It's not a short-term thing. And you do it until it becomes a part of who you are, okay? So try it out right now. Pick one, and let me say this to you. Do it, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't mean it doesn't work. You got to keep doing it, right? You do it until it works. You do it until it becomes a part of who you are. You do it until it becomes part of your lifestyle. Like I said to you, it's not another fad. You can't be thinking that this is like a short-term thing. Intermittent fasting is a way of living. You know, I think about my ancestors back in time. Like, you know, my ancestors back in time, like they would only eat like one meal a day. That was normal to them. Now we live in a society right now. This is my personal experience and what I want to share with you. Like, we live in a time right now, people are saying you got to eat morning tea, breakfast. It's like, who said? Like, who created that? Like, that's the question I want you to keep questioning. Question the theories that are already out there. I think about my ancestors. They were good. They were naturally strong, fit, confident, right? They had all the energy in the world. Obesity wasn't an issue. Being fat, being lethargic wasn't an issue. The diseases that they had wasn't an issue. And let me say this to you guys, like they'll be lucky to have 2 meals a day. They'll just have 1 meal and they might have a fruit or a coconut other than that. And they lived fine. But now we live in a society where everyone has different opinions. So for me, I'm not telling you to do what I'm doing. I'm just helping you, you know, sharing with you my experience in the fasting. But also I challenge you to question whatever's happening right now. The best way to look at it is look at your ancestors. Look at time before every Macca's and KFC came out. Cool. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you have any questions, please comment below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.